Hi everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background, and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy: How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is about the romantic compatibility between INTJs and ISFJs. But before we dive into this topic, I would like to underline something about my book. It is written from a health science point of view. So we're looking at the anatomy, physiology, brain dominance, the major neurotransmitters, and so forth of the 16 MBTI personality types. And based on this information, you can determine your own type. And since I advocate that like attract like, then you can determine the best match for you long term. And also the last chapter, I give you some suggestions in terms of how you can improve your health naturally so that you can be, at your best to be in a long-term romantic relationship. So let's go back to the topic at hand. What do INTJs and ISFJs have in common? Obviously, they're both judgers. So these are people who are reliable, reachable, hardworking, organized. So they don't like a surprise last minute, and they will appreciate about each other. So they'll feel like they can count on each other for the daily tasks of life. And in terms of emergencies, they know this person is going to be easily reachable. So that is very important for judgers. And also, the other point that they will share is the fact they're both introverts. So these are people who feel energized by being alone or with a few close friends and family members. So they won't put undue pressure onto the other to spend time with crowds because they know that this doesn't, is not conducive to their overall health. So again, they need time alone to actually regroup before they can spend time with, lots of people. The other aspect is that when it comes to the INTJ is that they are obviously left brain dominant, and the ISFJ, interestingly enough, has introverted thinking as their third function. The INTJ is object oriented, and the ISFJ is people oriented, but they do have a well developed thinking aspect. So that will help them understand the other person's point of view. This couple will face some hurdles. The first one is the fact that the INTJ is very left brain dominant. So in other words, they are object oriented. They are not really good in terms of relationships. They have a hard time understanding their own emotions, let alone somebody else's. And the ISFJ is very right brain dominant. So they tend to be really good in terms of relationships. So they are the type of people who are warm, affectionate. They put more emphasis on their relationships than, let's say, career. So they will find that the INTJ doesn't really meet their emotional needs, so they will feel that they have to make most of the compromises. So you'll see that the person is very right brain dominant, whether they're male or female, is the one who's probably going to carry most of the load in terms of making sure the relationships are healthy. So they will feel that the INTJ is unable to meet them on an emotional level. So the other challenge has to do with the fact that the INTJ is an intuitive, so they are about the abstract future, whereas the ISFJ is about the concrete past. So the INTJ wants a partner who is open-minded, who's open to new ideas, whereas the ISFJ wants what is traditional, what is tried and true. They're very much about maybe the opinion of their let's say community members is important to them, whereas the INTJ is not really like that. So the other challenge they may face has to do with their difference in energy. So the INTJ, being an introvert and an intuitive, has amongst the best energies, whereas the ISFJ, being a centered judger, has among the lowest energies of all the personality types. Now the INTJ may not consciously understand why they feel tired when they spend all time with the ISFJ, but it still are affected by it because there is physiological synchronization when two individuals spend time together. So I usually do not recommend that people who have opposite energies spend all the time together, and the person who has the most positive energy, which in this case is the intuitive thinker, will feel drained, and if they spend a lot of time they may actually get sick. So overall, this is not a compatible pairing because although they're both judges, they're both introverts, the issue is that one is a thinker, the INTJ, the other one is a feeler. One is an intuitive thinker, the other one is a sensor judger. So in other words, they don't focus in terms of one being about the future, the one as about the past. One is more conservative than the other. And the other aspect is that their energies are very different. So one who's the INTJ, who has the best energy, will feel drained over time, and they might even not consciously record that, because people who have extroverted thinking, either as their first or second functions, that are not good at perceiving subtle energy compared to a person who is a feeler or right brain dominant. So I would not encourage this type of couple. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this romantic compatibility analysis by commenting below. If you like this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button. Also remember to click on the notification bell to be notified of other videos I'm going to be making. Subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.